had 2 accidents and a stroke in the 5 years we've been together. And when you're 60 some odd years old, 2 accidents and stroke when you do commercial painting for a living doesn't give you a job. So I've had to embrace the idea of having a YouTube channel, which is fine because my goal when he came up with the idea was first to travel the United States and ride roller coasters and film that fun and that joy. But instead, life has not gone that way, so now we have to figure out how to make YouTube channels so that we can support ourselves, because if I go back to work, I'll have to work 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week while living in Colorado to make enough money to do anything. And that means he gets to sit at home bored. Even if he could go make content, he's not very good at it, so we haven't got him there yet. Haven't got him to where he can do it all on his own for his own channel. Because that's what he really wants to do. He wants to do his own channel. So we're going to have the best we can do, and we're going to multitask these channels out so that we have multiple streams of income if we can figure out how to get YouTube to push our channels in the right direction. So, you didn't notice I'm outside walking my dog, and she's making it really difficult. Really difficult. Are you pooping again? It's a good thing I brought the pooper scooper and not a poop bag, because she's pooping again. Driving, hold up. Hold up. Oh, I missed it. Gotta get the rest of it. Oh, come on, Jellybean. We can go home and put this in the trash can now. But yeah, so I started a YouTube channel at 57 because I lost my job in October and depression kills. I was working nights when I lost my job, so now I have this stupid I'm doing nights thing, so I stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning, or 6 o'clock in the morning and go to bed, which means I don't get to spend a lot of time outside during the day. And my new apartment's a little bit dark because it's a basement apartment. So that's going to be another battle of fighting about... What are you looking at, dog? What are you looking at? Come on. So that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully will be an inspiration to people that understand the fact that when you're of a certain age, and you've worked hard all your life, you don't want to work hard all your life. Doesn't mean that I don't want to work. It just means I want to work at something that's more enjoyable. In 2016, I lost my job and I went to work for a shuttle company that I'd been working for as a bus cleaner. It was called the A-Line. It took people from Arvada to DIA. It was my favorite job. My favorite part-time job that turned into my favorite full-time job, because I could make people happy, either taking them to the airport or taking them home from the airport. There was never really a bad day. There's one kind of bad day, but that lady taught me what my dad always meant by don't be a pill. And it wasn't until I was 48 years old that I figured out what my dad meant by don't be a pill. And it's the funniest statement my dad ever said. Lots of things my dad said to me because he's a good man. My mom's a phenomenal lady, but my dad's a good man. One is, don't be a pill. And in this world, don't be a pill. Okay, don't be hard to swallow. Just don't be hard to swallow. You can be whatever you want, but don't be hard to swallow. And that's where I see the 2-year-old generation of people. They've been given everything they want, they've been given everything they have to, and they don't understand. I don't want to whine about my situation. My parents did a fantastic job raising me. They might not think so, my brothers and sisters might not think so, but they did a fantastic job raising me. They made me a good person. They made me know what being a good person means. And when I was young, I used to be an overachiever. I always wanted to do the best I could do because I thought people, I was taught that people would reward doing your best all the time. Doing your best no matter what. That's what I was taught. Well, in the industry I'm in, thanks to Davis-Bacon log wages, you learn that having experience and knowledge doesn't matter. Nobody cares how long you've done something. Nobody cares how good you are, because they can pay somebody the same as you or less than you to do the same job they are looking for. Not whether or not I was really good at my job, understood it, did it to the fullest of my ability, executed, all of that doesn't even matter. That didn't even matter. So that's why I started a YouTube channel, is because when execution and perfection or top achieving doesn't matter, you get really half-assed. And when you're half-ass, outdoes everybody that you work with, you get a little bit difficult. Don't want to go and start a new job with a new company because I'll be the low man on the totem pole and nobody will know what I know and nobody will care, and I'll have to kiss ass to get them to understand that I know what I'm doing. And then that might not even matter. So I started a YouTube channel so that I could just execute on teaching people what I know. And if me and my husband's YouTube channels work out, we'll be riding roller coasters in a year, showing people what roller coasters are in the United States, because that's really fun. I want to do something fun. I don't want to stand out in traffic on a hot day having people tell me I don't know how to do my job. However, when I do my job, I'm responsible for people's safety. And that, my friends, is a conundrum when you don't have the authority to back your decisions. You only have the responsibility to make it safe, but no authority to back your decisions. And that's a tough place to be, because I'm not in charge of the money, I'm not in charge of the insurance, I'm not in charge of all the things that makes businesses run and all the decisions that people make. But I am responsible for people's safety, and I can't control one thing. I can't control how people drive, and I can't control the resources that I'm given to do my job. But I will be held accountable if there's an accident. They will question me and what I've done and why I set it up the way I did, because they've determined, kind of like blaming law enforcement, that it's the person that set it up, not the person that caused the accident, that's the problem. It's the officer that arrested them. It's the ICE agents that are deporting them. It all comes down to this. It's always the person tasked with the job that they say has the responsibility of making sure people are safe that becomes an issue. Okay? It's my job to make sure the construction workers are safe, to make sure the traveling public's safe. It's safe, efficient movement through a work zone is the job title. How do I make sure that the traffic moves safely, how the construction workers move safely through the work zone? But in the end, my only job is to make sure the amount they pay is small, because there's a difference between being liable and negligent. And the more we pay people out of the government pocket because somebody says their feelings were hurt or they were wronged, when they put themselves in that situation, that makes people think that they're not accountable for their actions. If you speed and you cause an accident in my work zone, they're going to question me, how I set it up. And they're going to try to use, your signs were spaced too far apart. Your signs were spaced too far apart. That must have been why the accident happened. That being said, when it comes to insurance companies and all those things, they have made it to where what somebody says and does doesn't really matter if they can't put all the facts together. They will ignore them. My husband's motorcycle accident in 2022, the As long as we had an attorney, Progressive was willing to pay. When we lost the attorney, neither insurance paid. My husband, we had full coverage insurance. He was on his motorcycle. I had full coverage insurance for the motorcycle. That's how I addressed it. I wanted every bell and whistle for riding on a motorcycle. I wanted all the protection I could get. Willing to pay it. Willing to pay it. In the end, because the other person who caused the accident, even though he got out of his part of it, and the insurance companies decided they were both 50% in charge, or 50% responsible, my husband never got fixed. Didn't have the money to use the health insurance we had to get him fixed, because that means he can't work still. Everybody wants, attorneys want you to stay off while you rack up lots of bills. My husband's employer wouldn't put him back to work without his shoulder being fixed. So that's when the idea started to do the YouTube channel. My husband loved climbing trees. He loved climbing trees. He was 59 years old climbing trees until a man cut him off on his way to work. And because the cops and nobody recognized that the skid mark wasn't where the bike stopped. That was the back tire where it stopped. So when the man told him the story about where the accident happened, nobody believed my husband. And doing traffic control all of my life, understanding driver dynamics, I would love to be that expert witness for those kind of things. I would love to do that, being an expert witness when it comes to safety and traffic control and traffic accidents. That would be a fantastic job, because people don't understand driver dynamics. So in the end, my channel at 57 will be about driver dynamics in traffic and how you deal with driver safety, because somewhere somebody needs to improve that. Driver safety, people need to learn. You don't just get in, we're given driver's license at 16, but that doesn't mean we know how to drive at 16. So this is my reason for starting the YouTube channel, is because I don't want to spend the rest of my life working under the shadow or working with people where the new guy gets paid the same. Because getting paid the same as somebody that's done something for 40 years is what socialism causes. And so we have plenty of socialism in this country. It's called Davis-Bacon wage laws. That's a whole nother story. Someday I'll get into that with you. Things I learned over the years about how our laws work together and how each unemployment, HR, business things, all of those things work together. And that's what we need to do. People need to understand this is a great country, and it doesn't need to be made great again. It needs to remain great. The United States needs to remain great. And if you don't think this country is great because you didn't have all the chances in the world, you are delusional. I was born after 1964. Obviously, you can tell the math. But guess what? People have never been oppressed in this country. Because if you want to know what oppression is, talk to somebody that comes from another country, even in countries that have democracy. Remember that. It's not about making America great. It's about keeping America great. I don't identify as an American. I am an American. Perspective, semantics, pragmatic. That's what I'm about. And I'm about things that are funny, because it's always funny in my head. Always funny in my head. Everything is always funny in my head. Especially when you work with engineers and you have social awkwardness. Social awkwardness causes you to make jokes around engineers, and they don't find anything funny. So hopefully you'll like our channels. Russell Cat 21222, Russell Tucker, Cat Tucker, Russell Cat Tucker. We're going to bring you a variety of things between me and my husband. So that's why we started a YouTube channel at 57, because we have things to say in our 50s, because we've come from the generation different, and it's time to keep this country great.